In the global theatre of power, we are taught to fear the visible. We panic over 50% of tariffs from Washington. We debate over borders, taxes, and trade wars. While we stare at these headlines, the real killer is already inside our lungs. It's a choice between a policy and a plague. A tariff is a speed bump on the road to growth, while pollution is a structural collapse. While we lose billions to productivity, the cost of doing business becomes a death sentence. Between the tax on goods and tax on death, there is no competition. The single greatest threat to Indian economy is pollution. Today, we unmask the invisible tax, tariffs versus pollution. It's time to see what's really hurting India's economy.
Pollution is a challenge in India, and if you look at the impact of pollution on the Indian economy, it is far more consequential than any impact of any tariffs that have been put on India so far.
The Deputy Managing Director of IMF, Gita Gopinath, at Davos Summit of World Economic Forum has said that the impact of pollution on Indian economy is much more consequential than tariffs. So today we'll just try to analyze why she has said that, and is it really true, and what Indian government has already done, and what should be the way forward. So firstly, we'll see how pollution actually affects the Indian economy, and a few national and international organizations have made a few observations, of which the World Bank report on environmental degradation in India has observed that $80 billion annually is lost because of the environmental degradation, of which the air pollution is the major contributor. While the Lancet Planetary report on health, it has said that with the impact of air pollution, 9.5% of GDP is lost. And RBI and other ministry reports have suggested that around 1.36 to 3% of GDP is lost in productivity and healthcare costs. Next, we will see the cost of pollution on the human capability and human health. According to the various reports, around 1.7 million deaths that are occurring in India is because of pollution, which accounts for around 18% of total deaths that are occurring in India every year, which means per day 4,657 deaths are because of pollution. Now this acts as a hidden tax on India's population. It has the impact on the cognition, it has the impact on the labor hours, it has impacts on the agricultural yields as well. So with the PM 2.5 exposure, there is 16% of loss of cognitive math capability in the children who are continuously exposed to these PM 2.5. Along with that, whole of a combined who are there in the labor which is there in the Indian market, combinedly they have lost somewhere around 181 billion hours in 2023 itself. And also wheat and rice yields have their productivity was lost by 14 to 15% annually in 2023 because of, again, pollution. Because of all these reasons, you will see that it has an impact on the foreign direct investment, and this is according to Gita Gopinath. She has specifically highlighted this point, that the high pollutions in the hubs, the trade hubs, the industrial hubs like Delhi, Mumbai and Bengaluru, it actually makes it difficult for the multinational corporation to attract the global talent. Obviously, if I am talented enough, then I wouldn't want to go into a gas chamber. Okay, and also next one is there is a livability index. The environmental livability is increasingly factored in by the global investors. So now environmental safety, climate change, pollution, all these factors are being considered by the future investments. Okay, if I am investing somewhere, for example the EU, it has started the border tax, where if any good is entering into the EU, it has to be green product. Okay, it shouldn't be any carbon rich product. So, and that's the reason why if I am producing somewhere in some country which is not aligned with these sorts of tariffs, then what will happen is that the investment will be reduced. Okay. So, this is being very much factored by the international investors, and that is the reason why you will see that in the future also the foreign direct investments will be reduced, and one of the major factor being the environmental reasons. What are the exact factors which are responsible for such levels of pollution in India? And the first reason is the transportation and vehicular emissions. Okay. So, in the mega cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore and Hyderabad, we see that there is a high increase in private vehicles, the vehicular density, and there is no commensurate increase in the infrastructure. Okay. This has led to undue traffic congestion primarily, and along with that the pollution, the PM 2.5, PM 10. So, all that have also been increased. Along with that, there are high number of vehicles which are still running on BS3, BS4, even though we have already transitioned to BS6. Though recently Delhi government has stated that the BS3 and BS4 vehicles will not be provided with the petrol in the petrol pumps, but still we see a considerable amount of vehicles which are actually running on BS3 and BS4 engines. The second reason is the industrial activity and power plants. Okay. And we all know that India is now transitioning from the fossil fuels to the green fuels for the energy production, but still we have good amount of coal fired power plants. Okay. And India has still heavy reliance on the coal fired power plants for the electricity generation, and these release SO2 and mercury. Okay. Along with that, there are small scale industries such as bricklines, tanneries, textile units. They often, which are small scale, obviously they try to bypass the rules and regulations which lead to the pollution. And along with that, we will see there are a few industrial belts. These industrial belts are contributing to more amount of pollution, such as the Manali industrial belt and also the Chennai industrial belt. They emit high amount of toxic emissions. Okay. So, next one is the Ahmedabad textile industrial belt is also there, which is also emitting high amount of effluents into the water bodies. And next is the third reason is the construction and road dust. We see that whenever we are traveling somewhere or when we are walking on the roads, you see that some construction company or some renovation is going on. They are not putting the blinds or sheets which were supposed to be put around the renovation. Okay. And because of that, if something is getting dismantled, what will happen is that the fine dust, okay, it spreads over, and when there is a wind blowing from there, you will see that this fine dust is carried on, and that is also affecting the quality of the air. Okay. The cell debris and the resuspension on the road dust. For example, now in Mumbai, the coastal recently we have PM Modi has inaugurated the coastal road, and along with that the multiple lines of metro lines have caused record breaking of 10 years high PM 2.5 pollution in the Mumbai. Okay. So, these sorts of things tend to be very common in India, and because of the construction, PM 2.5 and PM 10 particles are released into the air, and also the seasonal and geographical factors. Okay. And every year this has become a routine where the North India, because of various geographical factors, that the winds blowing in a particular direction. Okay. They are guided from the Aravalli hills to the Delhi. Okay. Along with that, there is high amount of stubble burning in and around the Delhi NCR region. Okay. And the temperature inversion which occurs during the winters has led to increase in the high levels of pollution, okay, and where it is increasing in Noida and Ghaziabad and Delhi, okay, these are one of the most developed cities, okay, where there are number of companies, okay, there are offices, okay. If I want to invest something and if I am erecting a company over in these regions and I see that the pollution level is not good, okay, the pollution level is so bad, then obviously we tend to feel that, okay, the investment over in these regions is not a good idea. The next reason is the waste management and open burning. So we see that the urban India generates approximately somewhere around 160,000 tons of solid waste daily, of which only 50 to 70% is treated. Along with that, landfill fires and plastic biomass burning, okay, water pollution, these are all again released into the water bodies, these are all released into the air which are without being treated, okay. So that these are also the major reasons where you will see the water is polluted, air is polluted and land is also polluted. This is an infographic which I wanted to show, which will summarize the exact cause of pollution and where we are seeing that pollution. PM 2.5, PM 10 mainly because of road construction and vehicular pollution. Delhi, Ghaziabad and Patna, you will see high amount of this pollution. Sulfur dioxide mainly from the power plants and heavy industries, Jamnagar, Singrauli and Chennai, okay, these are industrial hubs. Next is nitrogen oxides. Vehicular exhaust is one of the major factors where we see that in high vehicular density cities such as Mumbai, Bengaluru and Pune. And next is the tanneries, the chemical effluents which are coming from the tanneries and pharma, where we see in Hyderabad, which has a pharma city, and Kanpur. There are few initiatives on which the government is working on. The first one is the NCEAP, which is National Clean Air Program, which was launched in 2019 and it is been updated for 2024 to 2026, which has a target of reduction of PM 10.10 to PM 2.5 by 40% by 2026. Okay. And next is 13,000 plus crores have been allocated to mechanized road sweepers, electric buses and increasing the green cover. Along with that, we see Sameer app is there. This app has an expanded CEAAQMS monitoring, okay, which will provide the live data. Okay. Along with that, the other interventions are the vehicular and transport reforms. Firstly, transition to BS6, which I have already told you. Directly we have skipped the BS5, we have shifted from BS4 to directly to BS6, and this will significantly reduce the nitrogen and particulate matter. Along with that, vehicle scrappage policy has been updated, okay, and as I have already stated, vehicles over 10 years and 15 years older petrol have been fully denied the clearances, the fitness clearances. Next one is the FAME to electricity mobility, where the electric adoption of the vehicles is being furthered. Okay, these are a few initiatives with respect to the vehicles and transport reforms. Okay, along with that, there is a GARP policy, which is emergency and regional measures. Okay, these are graded responses, and the first one is the stage wise restriction. For example, now based on the air quality, a few restrictions have been imposed. Okay, for example, if it is moderate or poor or very poor, severe, then depending upon the AQI, the government automatically triggers or bans some constructions or diesels. And recently in Delhi we saw the tandoors were banned, or the alternate day odd even vehicular policy, that was also there. And along with that, Commission for Air Quality Management was established as a statutory body which actually monitors and shuts down those polluting industries across the state borders, such as in Delhi, Haryana and UP. Okay, it has already taken a few initiatives. And along with that, the agriculture interventions are the stubble burning management. Of course, this has not been successful yet. Okay, the Punjab and Haryana and UP and MP, we see high amount of stubble burning, okay, just preceding the winter every year. Okay. Next one is the zero liquid discharge. For the many industries and industrial clusters, it is being mandated that you should be zero effluent discharge industry. Okay. And if they are not taking up the initiatives, they are actually fined on this. Okay. So, these are a few initiatives. Along with that, there is a waste management and circular economy. Circular economy is nothing but once a particular ingredient gets into that economy, it is cycled, recycled, reused. Okay. It is based on the RRR principle: reduce, reuse and recycle. Okay. So, along with that, we see there is a extended producer responsibility. Okay. And new rules have been updated in 2025 as well. So, there is one peculiar case study of China. In 2013, China was experiencing catastrophic levels of pollution. PM 2.5, PM 10 levels were increased to very catastrophic level, and in 2014 it took a major step, okay, that changed the very course of how China treated the pollution altogether. Okay. It stated the almost like a war on the pollution mandate in 2014, and it set a specific legally binding rules on the PM 2.5, and it has created many departments with respect to pollution, okay, and pollution control, and they worked on its mandate to a very perfect level. Okay, and it started decarbonizing its energy mix, where it established firstly they phased out immediately all the coal based and fossil fuel based energy plants, and they invested heavily in solar, hydro and wind energy projects. Okay. And along with that, they have revolutionized the transport system. If you go right now to China, you would barely find any vehicle which is running on the fossil fuel. Mostly all of them have green plates, and all of them have been running only on the electricity, buses or trains or the two-wheeler or four-wheeler vehicles. Okay. And this has actually improved their export capability with respect to the electric vehicles. Okay. Along with that, they have relocated the industries. Okay. Wherever you see the pollution spreading industries there, they have been relocated back to the area where the population density is extremely low primarily. Okay. So, this has been done, and along with that, they have created a high-tech monitoring system. If you it is one of the trivia, that now you will know exactly how many vehicles are there in the next traffic stop. Okay. If the traffic stop is, the traffic signal is red, green or yellow, you will know exactly what is there through their GPS system. They have their own GPS system. Okay. Along with that, each traffic signal you will find the air quality index, which is real. Again, they do with respect to the air quality, they are not doing any manipulations per se. Finally, ending with again Gita Gopinath's statement. She said that tackling pollution must become the top national priority. It needs to be treated as a mission for India. Okay. So, whenever we are electing our representatives, or the agenda that the political parties are actually putting forward, now the pollution should be taken as one of the major agendas. Okay. So, once this comes into the political scenario, then probably we might see some changes, or else again the life expectancy of Indians with respect to those people who are living especially in the very highly polluted cities, you will see a dip. Okay, as of now, staying in Delhi is smoking somewhere around 20 to 30 cigarettes per day when it is in peak air quality is very low, very worse, and in Mumbai as well it is somewhere around 10 cigarettes, in Hyderabad it is 5 cigarettes. Okay, even though if you are not a smoker, because of the pollution your lungs are getting damaged similarly as how a smoker's is being damaged. Okay, so I hope you might have got a good idea about the statement that was given by Gita Gopinath. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the video. Okay, thank you so much.